Now we have Raisin. Tamaz, please. You are like, one of the highest profile German fintech companies. We're pleased to have you.
Nice to be here with you.
Always showing us nice growth, so we're excited.
Sure. So, hi, my name is Tamaz. I'm CEO and one of the founders of Raisin. So, actually, I would assume majority of you don't know what Raisin is doing, so I'll try to be brief and explain it. So, Raisin is trying to bring platform economy into banking. And how do we do it? So, actually, we started with the simplest banking product, which is deposits and savings. We are a platform available in 31 countries right now. And we allow consumers and banks to interact with each other through a marketplace approach. So we brokered roughly 17 billion euro until now, and were founded 2013. But platform is nice, but what's actually the issue which we're solving? And that's pretty easy to explain. The issue is customers are unhappy with the banking service they're getting. We all hear a lot of complaining about the low interest rates. And to be honest, on the one side, that's the most relevant product for the customer. So roughly more than 12 trillion assets in Europe alone are on a bank balance sheet and deposits with a very, very low interest rate on it. The customer experience is less than satisfactory. So they get low or even negative rates in continental Europe. And if they even choose a bank with halfway good rates, then that bank might be very smart and reduce rates quite quickly. If you look on the investment and pension product side of it, then actually this asset class is combined even bigger than the deposit side. And there the issue is, first, it's opaque for customers, very hard to understand, especially on the pension side, and it's very expensive. Germany, which is our home market, an average retail investor pays 2.3% of his assets as a combined management and custodian fee. Another area ready for disruption. And the last thing is, if you think about the user experience, then services like ours might be out there, but actually they are not really connected. So if you go to a direct bank which offers a good rate and they drop, you need to go to another one, start registration anew, have a different online banking, and it's not really a convenient way to do banking with that. So let's go through these issues one by one. So the first area where we tried to innovate is the deposit space, the saving space. And the way we entered the market is we introduced as the first player a cross-border platform where actually banks are able to interact with consumers on a cross-border way, meaning that, for example, German savers can open accounts with Swedish, Estonian, or Italian banks. And the reason for that, why we entered this market, is that inside Europe there is large disparity in rates. If you look even at the average rates of the market, then roughly 10 times as much French banks are paying on average compared to, for example, Irish or Luxembourg-based banks. The other element of it is the rates are not only differing market by market, but even in the same market, the interest rate differences are much bigger. So up to 40 times the player with the highest rates is paying compared to the player with the lowest rates. So that there is a way to optimize for the consumer. A lot of practices like hook rates or initial offers or special terms which actually incentivize the customer to switch, but at the long term don't help him a lot. The way we introduce the services, actually, we allow banks, we have 87 banks by now on the platform, which are gathering deposits through us, to access the markets across Europe through just one integration, one API. And the types of banks we have are players like Alio, AIB, Aldermore in the UK, or Oak North, who want to be present in different segments, different markets, but don't want to do the complete value chain themselves and want part of it to be done by a third party or a platform. The second part of it, which I love to talk about, is actually how we are changing the investment product market. We launched the product just 18 months ago, so we have now 10,000 users only on that product. And it's for a retail customer, so for a person with not a lot of money, it's the perfect way to build up his savings. We allow for a savings plan starting €50, and it costs all in, including product costs, custodian costs, trading, everything. It costs just below 0.5%. So it's a perfect retail product to build up your wealth over time. And it's also the only one recommended by both Finanztipp and Finanztest, which are the major German consumer agencies. But the investment product was just the first step for us. So we just recently this year acquired a pension specialist, which is called FAIR, also based in Berlin. And what FAIR does is actually brings this low cost and simple idea to a very complex market, which is pensions market. As you all know, pensions market is just part of it is on the asset side. The other part of it is on regulatory side, to have the right wrapper and the right legal setting for the customer to benefit from better tax rates or state subsidies. And actually, because majority of the offering is from traditional players, customer benefits from those tax breaks or subsidies, but at a very, very high cost. So the costs on this product are at times upfront costs of 7 to 10% for a simple insurance wrapper, so that the customer is paying actually several years upfront for a meaningful pension plan. We have in Germany the only product which is direct only, so digital, has a direct cockpit and full flexibility in terms of underlyings and payout schemes through this FAIR acquisition. And of course, we want to have a very convenient customer experience. So all of those products are integrated under one interface, and customer can do anything. He can open deposit with any of the 89 banks, can have Vanguard portfolios, or can have FAIR Riester or FAIR Rürup solutions through our website. What happened last year? Because we've been working hard. So next to doing everything on the consumer side, we've done one very important move for us. We acquired actually a bank in Frankfurt, which was our so-called servicing bank, or bank which is doing our fronting services. We renamed it to Raisin Bank, and we launched in a couple of new markets. The latest one is we launched a couple of weeks ago in Ireland. Before that, we launched in the Netherlands with a dedicated offer. And we launched a lot of partnerships, because what I was explaining is more or less a consumer proposition. But what I really believe is the consumer proposition will be only successful if we offer it through third parties as well. So it's actually exactly the same product as we have. A lot of third parties are integrating or have integrated. The most recent case is Scalable Capital. Some of you have heard of our Munich-based friends. They have our products integrated into their app, so that customers from Scalable Capital can seamlessly open overnight and term deposits in a lot of countries with a lot of counterparties. We have integrations like that with Yolt, with Moniz, with Commerzbank. We're working for more than a year on mid-corp and SME segment, and there are a lot of others coming up. Baloise, Basler is the last one which we announced very recently. And the last is we also been very active on the equity raise this year. We raised only this year 125 million euro, bringing total funding to 195 million euro, which we raised until now. So we are equipped to continue our growth. And one of the topics for the next year is the shaded US flag. So we are preparing our US launch with, of course, a bit adjusted product for the US market. But that's the next big move beyond making the product more seamless, more convenient, and broader for the consumers. So, and for the last, actually, why are we doing this? Because everyone has to have a passion about stuff he's doing. And our passion is really breaking down barriers. And barriers in two senses. So barriers is not only borders. So border is a physical border, and we hate borders. We hate Brexit happening. We hate a lot of stuff which introduces some sort of barrier. And the other barrier is barrier for people to have a good and simple and transparent investment and saving product. So this is what drives us. And just to show you the impact we might have in the future is the market is really huge. So it's 19 trillion only on savings and investment category without the pension part. And even 0.1% yield component on that creates almost 20 billion instantly in additional contribution. So that's what we're striving for. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention.